My name is Minister Ima, and welcome to another edition or session of your online mathematics tutorials. I'm here to take you through, as you can see, Mathematics B.E.C.E 2010 review. We are going to take a look at all the questions both in section A and section B, and then we will have better understanding to equip you. I want you also to take note that some of the questions are repeated when you look in the B.E.C.E past questions, and for that matter, you need to understand how the questions are solved so that in your B.E.C.E, if you have a similar question with different values or different nature of the question, you'll be able to understand it and solve it. So please, bear with me, take your books, get ready. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe right now. Click on the like, and then also click on the notification bell so that whenever we are live, you receive the notification. Also invite your friends, share with your friends so that they can all join. You have to do that so that we start together. All right. Okay, so today we are looking at B.E.C.E 2010 review mathematics. We want to start with the objectives. So if you have your maths past questions book, get it. If you don't have, you can also download it on the internet right now before you can follow the course, because we don't have the soft copy. I have to write them on the board. All right, so we'll start with question 1, the objective, paper 1, B.E.C.E 2010 mathematics objective question 1. All right, this is what question 1 says. Which of the following sets is defined? Which of the following sets is defined? We have set A containing members Man, Kofi. You also have Red and 14. You have set B containing members Ink, Mango, Green, and Nail. Ink, Mango, Green, and Nail. You also have C containing members Car, Road, Glass, and Book. Car, road, glass, and book. And you have option D, which is members Seth, Mary, Jacob, Evelyn. Seth, Mary, Jacob, and Evelyn. All right, so the question is, which of the following sets is well defined? You can go through the YouTube video description and find the tutorials we made under set, and realize that in the presentation we said that with sets, all the members of a particular set are restricted to that particular set. There shouldn't be any member outside the scope of what the set is talking about. In other words, the description of the set. So we are going to look through these 4 sets, that's sets A to D, and we determine which one is well defined and which ones are not well defined. Then we know why this is defined, this is not well defined. All right, let's take the first one. Set A has members Man, Kofi, Red, 14. Now, Man and Kofi are, Man is a common noun, Kofi is a proper noun, Red is a color, 14 is a number. They don't have any correlation. They are not linked in any way. Color is not linked with number or names in any way, which means that set A is not defined. So set A cannot be the answer, or option A cannot be the answer, if you are following me with the questions. Let's look at option B. Ink, mango, green, nail. Ink, mango, fruit, green, color, nail, a substance. They don't have anything in relation. So it means that set B or option B is also not well defined. Let's go to option C. Car, road, glass, book. Do they have anything in common? They don't. Car and road, of course, you can say cars move on roads, fine. But glass, what has it got to do? Book. You know, there are too many inconsistencies, which means option C is also not defined. Let's go to option D. Seth, Mary, Jacob, Evelyn. You realize that these are all names of people or names of humans, and for that reason, this set is well defined because it contains a set of members of or names of humans. So it means that set D is well defined, and for that reason, our answer for question 1 is option D. Option D is a well-defined set because all the members of this set belong to a particular group or understand or correlate with the description of the set, which is names of individuals. I believe we get it. Let's go to question 2. So if you are following me with your question pack, you answer it and then you go to question 2. Don't forget that through the tutorials, if you have any question, you leave a comment. I'll be sure to check it out and answer you accordingly. Let's go to question 2. Question 2 says that if set B is a subset of set A, set B is a subset of set A. What does it mean? What does it mean set B is a subset of set A? Let's look at the possible answers. A. Sets A and B have the same number of elements. B. Some members of set B can be found in set A. C. No member of set B is in set A. And D. All the members of set B are in set A. Let's look at them and find out the correct answer. Subsets. Now, when you also check our tutorials on sets in our previous discourses, you realize that we said that a subset is a small set that can be found in a bigger set. So let's look at the description. The first one is sets A and B have the same number of elements. Is that correct? No. If they have the same number of elements, remember under the set, we talked about equivalent and equal sets. And we said equal sets have the same members. Equivalent sets have the same number of members. So option A is describing an equivalent set. But two equivalent sets cannot be said to be one being a subset of another. That's not correct. So it means that option A is not correct for question 2. Now let's go option B. Some members of set B can be found in A. They say set B is a subset of A. And they are saying sub-members of B, which means that there will be other members of B which will not be found in A. And that means that set B is not a subset, if that is the description. So that also means that option B is wrong. Now let's go option C. No member of set B is in set A. So you realize under the tutelage on sets that two sets with no common members are called disjoint sets. And they cannot be subsets because with a subset there should be a member present or all members present in a universal set. Let's get the last option. So once A, B, C are wrong, then definitely we know that the answer will be D. So let's get the option D. All the members of set B are in set A, and that's perfect. So when I say set B is a subset of set A, it means that all the members in this B, which is a subset, are present in this A, which will be the universal set in this case. So it means our correct answer is option D. All members in set B can be found in set A. Beautiful. That is the answer for question 2, and I believe you understand why it is so. Now you should understand so that if the question is framed in a different dimension, you'll be able to get it correct. All right, let's go to question 3. Question 3, the least common multiple, which is LCM of three numbers, 16, 30, and 36. So LCM of 16, 30, 36. Now, I always tell students that if you want to use the multiple methods, it becomes a little lengthy for you. The multiple methods is only applicable easily when you have numbers of smaller magnitude. 2, 3, 4, 5, you can do that. But if you have bigger numbers, it becomes a little cumbersome. So what you can do is that you can apply the indices method or the product of primes method. So you find the product of primes for each of the numbers given and you apply a principle. So let's find the LCM. Product of primes. Product of primes for 16. So 16, the first prime number that can divide 16, that's what we mean. So 2 times what will give you 16? 2 times 8. 2 times 8, 16. 8 is a composite number, so we have to break 8 down also to get prime numbers. Remember, I said the method is product of primes. So all the numbers should be primed. Okay, let's go. So 8 is also 2 times 4. 4 is composite. So 4 is also 2 times 2. Now we have 2 raised to the power 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 raised to the power 4 is 16. Then you look at the same thing. Product of primes, 4, 30. The first prime number to divide 30, you can use 2, you can use 3, whichever one goes for you. So 2 times 15 is 30. All right? And then 15 is composite. 15 is 3 times 5. So this is the product of primes for 30. Let's look at 36. You can use 36 is 6 times 6. All right? You can use whichever method you want to use. All right? If you want to use 2, then we have 2 times what? 18. 2 times 8 is 16. 6 remainder 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1, 3. Okay. Then you break the 18 down. So 18 is what? 2 times 9. And 9 is what? 3 times 3. Giving you what? 2 squared times 3 squared. So these are the product of primes for 16, 30, and 36. Now, to find your LCM, this is the principle you are going to adopt. Listen carefully. You are going to select the common product of prime or the common prime number between the product of primes for 16, 30, and 36. You select the common ones with the highest exponent. Common one with the highest exponent. And then you also multiply with non-common factors still with the highest exponent. So when you look at this, 2 raised to the power 4, 2 raised to the power 2 times 3 raised to the power 2, 2 times 3 times 5. Realize that 2 is common. But which one has the highest exponent? 2 raised to the power 4. So you select 2 raised to the power 4. Then you multiply. Remember, you are going to multiply other non-common ones, still with the highest exponent. Now, 3 is non-common. Even though 3 is here and here, but not here, so it's non-common. 3 is here, 3 squared is here. Highest exponent, we select 3 squared. 5 is here. 5 is non-common, but we still accept it. So we add 5, or we multiply it by 5. So the principle is that first you select the common factors with the highest exponent, then you multiply it by other factors which are non-common but still with the highest exponent. Now, our options given here are not in product of primes. They are in whole numbers. So we have to break this one down. So we go. 2 raised to the power 4 is 16. 3 raised to the power 2 is 9 times 5. Then you simplify. I'll take it to the other part of the board. So you have 16 times 9 times 5. So our LCM, 16 times 9 times 5. 9 times 5 is what? 45. So now we are left with 16 times 45 to do. Quickly, you do that. 45 times 16. For those who don't know how to divide, this is a good start for you. All right. So 5 times 6 is what? 30. 0, remainder 3. 4 times 6 or 6 times 4 is 24 plus 3, making 27. Then the second numeral, the second digit of the 16. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 4 is 4. Then you find the addend. So 0 plus 0, there is nothing here. So 0. 5 plus 7 will give you 12. 2 remainder 1. 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 1, 7. So what do we have? 720. So we check through the options. A is 3. B is 6. C is 240. D is 720, which means that our correct answer is option D, 720. All right, so this is how you find the LCM using product of primes. If you want to find, and I believe this is the shortest method, especially dealing with objectives. If you want to use the multiples method, you have to find multiples of 16. So in common language, 16 times 16. 16 times 1, 16 times 2, 16 times 3, you list all. You come to 30, list all the multiples of 30. You come to 36, list all the multiples of 36. Then you select the common multiples, then you find the list. But you see, you are prone to making mistakes. So you just resolve to using this simplify method, and you get your LCM. Let's go to question 4. I believe we are getting the concept. If you have issues, you have questions, you can still leave a comment. If you have not subscribed yet, please do that before you continue watching this video. Question 4. The sum of 5 and x. This is a word problem that we need to carefully examine before we can write the mathematical statement. The sum of 5 and x divided by 4 is equal to 3.25. Find the value of x. Let me write the statement there. The sum of 5 and x the sum of 5 and x divided by 4. Let me quickly clean this so that we have enough room here. Divided by 4 is equal to 3.5. Is equal to 3.25. Sorry, that's 3.25. Find the value of x. All right, so let's go. Listen, this is very tricky. You need to understand. The sum of 5 and x. So first, when we say sum, we mean add. So the sum, 5 plus x. The sum of 5 and x, 5 plus x, divided by 4, all divided by 4. The sum of 5 and x divided by 4 is equal to 3.25. So find the value of x. These linear equations. You can also check through a video description. You find our tutorials on linear equation. Type 1. You can go and look at it and you get better understanding. But for today, we are solving the questions. So the J.H.S 3 students, J.H.S 2 students, J.H.S 1 students, you all have your portion in it. Subscribe and continue watching. All right, so what do we do here? The LCM is 4, so we multiply these two sides by the LCM, which is 4. So 4 times 5 plus x all over 4 equals 3.25 times 4. This 4 cancel this, 1. 1 times everything here will give you the same thing, so you just remove the bracket. 5 plus x equals 3.25 times 4. This is where most students are unable to multiply decimals. So what I encourage is that simply change the decimal to fraction form to make it easy for you. So what you do is that 325 in fraction, 3.25 in fraction is 325 over 100 times 4. This becomes easy because every student will like to work with fractions but not decimals. You understand? All right. So let's go. We just have to what? Divide. So 4 will go into itself 1. 4 will go into 100 how many times? 25 times. So now we are left with 5 plus x equals 325 divided by 25. How many times will 25 divide 325? If it can. So you can do a little bit of try and error to see. So 25 times 10 will give you 250, which is still less. So let's do 25 times 13. 5, 3, 15. Remember 1. 3, 2, 6 plus 1, 7. 5, 1, 5, 2, 1, 2. Then you find the addend. So 5 here, 12 here, remember 1. 2 plus 1, 3. Which means that 25 will divide 325 13 times. So 1, 13. This leaves us a linear equation of what? 5 plus x equals 13. Then how do we find x? You group like terms. So your x is here, 13. 5 moves to the other side and becomes minus 5. So x equals 13 minus 5, which is what? 8. Let's get our possible answers. A, 8. B, 7. C, 2 1/4. D, negative 3 into 4 over 13. If you have your question packs, you believe or you go through them. Now, for that reason, our answer is 8, which is option A. Very beautiful. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't and keep watching. Share with your friend to also continue. All right, let's continue with question 5. Question 5. Question 5. Now, question 5 says the numbers 32, 33, 34. 32, 33, 34. Then we have an empty space, another empty space. Before the next number is 42. All right? Form a sequence in base 5. In base 5, find the missing numbers. So we are finding this and this. Remember that it is done in base 5. Now, under numeration system, what you should understand is that in base 5, there are 5 digits. And the 5 digits in base 5 are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the 5 digits in base 5. Which means that the number 5 is not a digit in base 5. Are you getting it? The digits in base 5 are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 digits. So 5 itself as a number is not part of base 5 digits. Which means that if you see any number with 5 in it, it cannot be under base 5. Base 5 digits end with 4. So it means that after 34, the next number is 35. But 5 is not a digit in base 5. Which means that we can't have 35, but we'll add the 1 to the 3 to make it 4 and 0. So instead of 35, we jump to 40. So the next one will be what? 41. So the missing numbers are 40 and 41. 40 and 41, let's look at the options. A is 35 and 36. B is 30 and 31. C is 40 and 41. D is 31 and 41. So the correct answer is C, 40 and 41. So if you continue in base 5, you can have 43, can have 44, you can't have 45. So you have what? And you can't have 50 because 5 is also not there. So you get 100, 100. All right, so you can continue from there going and going. All right, let's concern ourselves with this objective, which is to review B.E.C.E 2010. So we go to question 6. All right, let's get question 6. Write down the integers in the set A. So this is the set A. The set A contains members -10, -4, 0, quarter. -10, -4, 0, 1/4. All right. 2 1/2, 45, and 100. 2 1/2, 45, 100. These are the members in set A. And they said we should find the integers among these members of set A. Now, what are integers? Integers are positive and negative whole numbers. Simply put, positive and negative whole numbers. So, among these members, you are just going to select positive and negative whole numbers. Whole numbers, not fractions, which means that immediately all the fractions are eliminated. No fraction, only positive and negative whole numbers. So the integers here, -10, -4, 0, 45, 100. Compare it with your options. So option 1, which is A, we have -10, -4, 0, 45, 11, which means our correct answer is option A. 1/4, 2 1/2 are not integers. Integers are positive and negative whole numbers. These are fractions. So they disqualify from being integers. And for that reason, this is the set of integers from set A. All right. I believe you are enjoying the session. Right. So question 7, if you have your B.E.C.E pack, you continue with us. Find the total cost of 25 pence and 75 books. If each pen costs 20 pesos and each book costs 30 pesos. So we have 25 pens, 75 books. Each pen costs, okay, this is 20 pesos, sorry, and 30 pesos for each book. Each pen is 20 pesos and each book is 30 pesos. But in this case, you are purchasing 25 pens and 75 books. So to get the total number of pens or the amount of the cost of 25 pens, you multiply the amount of each by 25. To get the total cost for 75 books, multiply the amount of each by 75. So let's go. 25 pence times 0.20. Like I said, decimal solving gets a little complex, so I prefer you change it to fraction to make it easy for you. If you also like to solve with decimals, you can still go ahead. So you have 25 times 0.20 in fraction is 20 over 100. You do your cancellation. 20 will go into 100 5 times. 5 will go into 25 5. That will give us a total of 5 Ghana cedis. Now let's calculate the total cost for 75 books. Each book is 30 pesos. So 75 times each book, which is 30 pesos. 75 times 30 over 100. You do your cancellation. 0 cancel 0. 5 will go into 10, 2. And 5 will go into 75, 15. So we have 15 times 3 all over 2. 15 times 3 will give you 45 over 2. Are you with me? All right, then we change this one. In decimals, this will give you 22.50. 22.5. But because it's Ghana cedis, we have 2 decimal places to deal with the pesos. So that becomes 22.50. That is 22 cedis, 50 pesos. If I'm buying 75 books and each book is 30 pesos. All right, now I want to find the total cost because the question said the total cost. So you sum both. So we have 5 cedis plus 22 cedis, 50 pesos. And that will give you 27 cedis, 50 pesos. Now let's get the options. Option A, 22 cedis, 50 pesos. Option B, 23 cedis, 50 pesos. We have option C, 27 cedis, 50 pesos. We have option D, 50 cedis. So that means our correct answer is option C, 27 cedis, 50 pesos. Now let's go to question 8. Question 8 is integers. We have negative 27 plus 18 minus into bracket 10 minus 14 minus negative 2. Now, to solve this, you have to be very particular and apply the principle of board mass. This is the principle of board mass, which means that in solving such a question, you have to follow this principle. Bracket first, off, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction in that order. So we are going to apply that principle in solving question 8. All right, so brackets. We have brackets. We have to resolve the bracket first. Negative 27 plus 18 minus 10 minus 14 will give you what? 10 minus 14 will give you negative 4. So you still keep it in brackets because of these two negatives. We are going to resolve them. Then negative 2. Now, according to integers, when two negative signs meet head on, they form positive. So it means that this becomes negative 27 plus 18. This and this will give you plus 4. This and this will give you plus 2. Are you following? All right, let's continue. Now we have addition, addition, addition. So we can just simply solve. Minus 27 plus 18. What would that give you? Minus 27 plus 18 plus 4 and plus 2. So minus 27 plus 18 can be written as 18 minus 27. Are you getting it? All right, so let's go. That will give you 9. So negative 9, because the 27 is minus, 18 is plus. So somebody says that I'm owing 27, I have 18. For better understanding, you pay off your 18 and you still be left with 9 to pay. So minus 9. Okay. Plus 4 plus 2. Minus 9 plus 4. If you use the same ideology, realize the answer becomes what? Minus 5 plus 2. Then minus 5 plus 2. If you use the same analogy, you find out that the answer becomes minus 3. All right, so let's check the possible answers. A, minus 3. B, minus 7. C, minus 11. D, minus 35. So the correct answer is A, minus 3 or negative 3. If you have questions like this, make sure you apply the board mass principle carefully. If you miss anything, you can get the whole thing wrong. All right, we go to question 9. I trust very well that you're enjoying the tutorials, which has been very helpful to you. For that reason, you don't want to be selfish. Share with your friend, call a friend to quickly go onto the platform and also enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't. Question 9. Arrange the following numbers from the lowest to the highest. We have 0.5, we have 3, we have negative 5, and 0. 0.5, 3, negative 5, and 0. And we have been asked to arrange from the lowest to the highest. Lowest to the highest means the smallest number to the biggest number. So among these, what is the smallest number? The smallest number is -5. Somebody will say, hey, but 5 is greater than 0. But 0 is a positive number, all right? And negative. So when you are drawing your number line, you realize that 0 is at the middle. And here is from negatives. And here is positive. Which means that any negative number is still smaller than 0. Are you getting it? All right. So -5 is the smallest, followed by 0. 0.5 is of course bigger than 0. And the biggest amongst these is 3. So let's get our options for question 9. A, 0, 0.5, -5, 3, which is wrong. B, 0, -5, 0.53, which is also wrong. C, -5, 0, 0.5, and 3. And D, -5, 0.5, 0, and 3. The correct answer is C, -5, 0, 0.5, and 3. Question 10. Question 10. Find how many pieces of cloth 5.5 meters long. 5.5 meters long. That can be cut from a roll of cloth 121 meters. So this is pieces. And the roll of cloth is 121 meters. So the question is trying to tell you that you have a roll of cloth which is 121 meters long. How many 5.5 can you cut? So it's just like saying, for example, a similitude. You have 25 oranges and you have 6 people sharing it. How will you share it? You divide the 25 oranges by 6. The same thing. So here you have 125 long cloth. And you want to find how many pieces of 5.5 you can cut. So what do? You just divide the 121 by the 5.5. So you have 121 divided by 5.5. This will give you 121 over 5.5 is the same as what? You change it to improper. How do you do that? 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1, 11 over 2. All right, so we are continuing. So according to the question, the roll of cloth was 121 meters long. And then we are going to cut 5.5 pieces. How many of the 5.5 pieces can we? So we just divide the total length of the cloth by the 5.5 pieces we want to cut. That will give us the number of pieces we can get. So we have 121 divided by 11 over 2. That is as a result of converting 5.5 into improper fraction. Now, this can also be rewritten as 121 divided by 11 over 2. So the principle says that we change this division to multiplication and then we reciprocate the immediate fraction. So 121 times reciprocation means you turn it upside down. So instead of 11 over 2, it becomes 2 over 11. And then you simplify. 11 will go into 11, or 11 will divide 121 11 times. So you have 11 times 2, giving you 22. Which means that we can have 22 pieces of equal length of 5.5 meters from the roll of cloth, which has a length of 121 meters. I believe it's clear. And let's get our possible answers. We have option A, 665.5. You see, too big, 115.5, 66, 22. So our possible answer, D, is the correct one. 22 pieces of 5.5 meters each can we get from the 121 meters length of cloth. All right, so we proceed to question 11. Question 11. Find the value of 124.3 added to 0.275. 0.275 and also added to 74.05. 74.05. Correcting your answer to one decimal place. Sorry, the last digit is 06. Correcting your answer to one decimal place. So here, write in the order in which you write the decimal is of importance. So the first one is 124.3. I'm adding it in this vertically. The next one is 0.275. Writing it is very important. The whole number part, the decimal should be aligned. Then the other digits follow likewise. The next one is 74.06. So this is how we are going to add it. Now, we do our addition. 5 here. 7 plus 6 will give us 13. 3 remainder 1. 3 plus 2 plus 0 is 5 plus 1, 6. Point. 4 plus 0 plus 4 is 8. 7 plus 2 is 9, 1. So we have 198.635. Let's look at our options. Option A, 198.6. Okay, so the question says correcting to 1 decimal place. So it means we have to also correct ours to 1 decimal place. 1 decimal place. The decimal places are counted immediately after the decimal point. So this is the whole number part. 198 is the whole number part. Decimal. The first digit is the first decimal place, second decimal, third decimal. We want 1 decimal place. So here. Then we check the next number to the right. Is this number 5 or more? No. It is less than 5. So we write this as it is. So it becomes 198 or 198.6. If the next number to the first decimal place were 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, then we would have added 1 to the 6 to make it 198.7. But because it's less than 5, we write 198.6, 1 decimal place. So the option A, 198.6, will answer our question. 198.6. Very simple. This one is very, very easy.